Hey everyone, welcome back to GM Bookshop. You know, when I pick up a story set against the backdrop of child soldiers and civil war, most people expect a tearjerker or an action-packed thriller. But trust me, today's tale delivers something altogether different, something that'll break your heart, tickle your intellect, and maybe even make you laugh in a very uneasy sort of way. So buckle up as we dive into a story of dreams, resilience, and unexpected noise sensitivities. Yep, you heard me right. Let's go. Picture an 11-year-old girl named Lamunu, bright-eyed, loves her books, and dreams of becoming a medical doctor. Because apparently, being 11 and already wanting to save lives wasn't enough pressure. She's the kind of kid who'd brave anything to get to class, including the ominous rumors of rebel abductions. And here's the kicker. One evening, the Lord's Resistance Army rolls into her village of Akololum like uninvited party crashers. And they don't just steal the cookies, they abduct Lamunu along with dozens of others. Now you might ask, what's a little girl doing with a heavily armed militia? Well, in this region of northern Uganda, kidnappings by the LRA are as commonplace as my habit of over-explaining books in YouTube videos. Within minutes, Lamunu's life is flipped upside down, and she's thrust into 4 long years of captivity. That's right, 4 years of forced marches, commanders barking orders, and, drumroll please, forced violence. I mean, who thought child soldiers could be your worst nightmare and your academic competition?
It only gets better from here, so.
Fast forward to the glorious escape. Lamunu manages to get away from her abductors. Cue triumphant music, but hold on. She's home, safe, and completely silent. The story tells us she suffers from what the narrator chillingly dubs post-abduction disorder. She refuses to talk to anyone and reacts badly to any booming sound of a passing plane or helicopter. You know those annoying pop-up ads that jump out at you on YouTube? Multiply that spook factor by 1,000, and you've got Lamunu's daily commute through PTSD City. And here's where the story really picks. Yep, I said picks on purpose. Through scattered details, we learn that Lamunu was forced, together with other captives, to beat a girl who tried to escape. To death. Yeah, even I winced writing that line. And just when you think it couldn't get darker, the narrator casually drops references to other kids whose lives were shattered in exactly the same way. It's as if these horrors have become everyday news headlines. Only they're not headlines. They're real children.
Like, seriously.
Meanwhile, back in Akololum, life goes on, or as normal as it can when your once bustling village has been transformed into a camp where people survive on NGO handouts and dog food because yes, they had to eat what they once fed their pets. Lamunu's father, once a proud farmer who grew enough food to feed his whole family, now stands in food lines like everyone else. The entire community is living under the same cloud of fear and scarcity, and hope seems as precious as a plane ticket out of there, which, ironically for Lamunu, is both a lifeline and a trigger.
Don't worry, it can only get better from here, right?
But wait, because this is a review video, I have to ask, where's the silver lining? Well, despite everything, Lamunu keeps her dream alive. After 4 brutal years, she goes back to school, refusing to let her youthful ambitions be stolen forever. It's like watching a flower bloom in a battlefield. Fragile, amazing, and somehow stubbornly beautiful.
You guys see Captain?
Did I forget something, big man?
God blesses everyone.
So friends, the story we've been tiptoeing around is called Butterfly Dreams by Beatrice Lamwaka. And trust me, once you've read or heard Lamunu's journey, you won't forget it. Okay, let's unpack this. On the surface, Butterfly Dreams is a narrative of abduction, war, and survival. Themes we've seen before in literature about Africa. But what lifts Lamwaka's story above the ordinary is her focus on the after, not just the during. Too many stories stop at the escape. Here, Lamwaka plunges into the haunting aftermath post-abduction disorder, the way Lamunu refuses to talk to anyone, and her visceral reaction to everyday sounds. This isn't a battlefield memoir. It's a psychological study of trauma in a child. One of the most striking aspects is Lamwaka's use of the second person. By addressing Lamunu as you, the narrator blurs the line between reader and protagonist, making us complicit witnesses to her pain. Yet this choice also falters at times, shifts in focus, from the mother's suffering to Lamunu's reintegration, can feel jarring, and the tense flips between past and present leave us slightly unmoored. It's as if the storytelling itself is experiencing its own trauma.
What the hell was that?
Another central theme is resilience. Despite forced complicity and violence, you beat a girl who tried to escape to death. Lamunu's dream of becoming a doctor never dies. In a world where her childhood was taken from her, her determination to return to books and classrooms becomes a form of rebellion against the chaos that tried to consume her.
One other thing.
Of course, we must acknowledge the story's weaknesses. The narrative can feel familiar: abductions, NGOs, camps, elements that Western media often over-dramatize or, oversimplify. Lamwaka risks slipping into tropes of Africa's endless suffering, and the second-person perspective, while ambitious, isn't always consistent. Now let's talk about the mind behind Butterfly Dreams. Beatrice Lamwaka studied literature and English language at Makerere University and works at the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, because honestly, who says statisticians can't write soul-stirring fiction? She's a pioneer in linking Ugandan writers with their UK counterparts through a British Council scheme, and her short story, Vengeance of the Gods, appears in the anthology Words from a Granary. She's also a poet whose work shows up in multiple collections, and her novella, Anina's Victory, is eagerly awaited from Fountain Publishers. Beyond writing, Lamwaka advocates for peace and creativity as a member of Transcend Art and Peace, or TAP, and the Uganda Women Writers Association. In short, she's juggling data analysis, short stories, poetry, and peace building. So if you ever feel like you're wearing too many hats, just remember, Lamwaka is probably wearing 10 more.
Damn.
So there you have it. Butterfly Dreams by Beatrice Lamwaka, a heart-shattering, hope-infused journey through trauma and healing. If you're ready for a story that lingers long after the last page, give it a read or a listen, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more deep dives into African literature. Until next time, keep dreaming. Just maybe not while flying overhead in a helicopter. Bye! Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're interested in diving deeper into this book, I've left some links down in the description. You can use it to grab yourself a copy and keep the adventure going. And if you're in the mood for more great reads, don't go just yet. Click on one of the videos popping up right now that I think you'll love. And don't forget to give this review a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe if you'd like to see more. Every bit of support helps us grow this little community of book lovers. See you in the next one.